I want to share some thoughts with you. Have you ever had moments of breakthroughs that you said, you know what? I need to share this. And I want you to like this page and share it. For some reason, I don't know why, but things have been dropping into my spirit that just accessing parts of myself for some time, that because of the busyness of life, and I allowed it to get in, that I couldn't hear my voice, that voice in my heart. And I think that I was listening to too many voices and caught up in other folks' stuff. Can you feel me up in here, as young folks say, can you feel me? And so I've been intentionally putting distance between me and the majority of people, including family, just to get still and to think and to hear myself think. Because sometimes you can get so caught up in other people's stuff, you neglect your stuff. And so I want to share something with you. And this is, my message is not for everybody. My message is just for a few people, not for large numbers of people. Large numbers of people, even though they can benefit from what I say, but I'm not their guy. They're not my tribe. I'm talking to the people who can hear me and can understand me and can relate to me and connect with me and identify with me because of my approach. My approach is different. I'm listening to a lot of these entertainers and athletes, and there's so many people out here that just can't speak without foul language. There's no filter between their brains and their mouth. And I just can't open my mind to that. A guy wanted me to put together, and when I started looking at it, within 1 minute, I had to stop. And I called him, I said, man, I can't listen to your stuff. He said, why not? I said, the language is too filthy. I don't want to give up territory in my mind for that. There's some stuff you just got to guard your mind and your heart, that you don't need it in your system. It matters. The words that are spoken to you and the words that you speak and the things that you listen to. You think it's any accident? When you look at young people today and their propensity for vulgar language and violent behavior, you think that's an accident? No, absolutely not. So this is for the few, and I want you to like this page and share it. If you know anybody who's heard my voice and they got some value of what I shared, please. And so I want to share some thoughts with you, and they're not going to be long. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about something that's very important to you, something that you'd like to do with your life, something that you would like to accomplish, and that gives your life a sense of meaning and purpose. I want you to think about that right now. I want to share with you, this is my mother, Mamie Brown. And so she took my brothers and sisters and I in as foster kids, and then eventually she adopted us. My brother and I, my twin brother, we were conceived in Gainesville, Georgia. Our birth mother was Dorothy Rucker and Doc Oliver Randolph. And so she came down to Liberty City in Miami to give birth to us and put us up foster care. And so my goal and vision was, that gave my life a sense of meaning and purpose, was I told Mama, what is it, Leslie? When I become a man, I'm gonna buy you a home. As you think about your goals and dreams, I want you to write this down. You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. I was talking to a friend of mine, single mother of 2, and she has 4 different jobs. Spent the majority of her time in her life investing in herself, developing herself, and positioning herself to be able to take care of her children and to live a larger life to provide for them and herself. And it's important that you have some purpose with your life, as mine was in buying my mother a home, but I want you to write this down. Sacrifice. That when Mamie Brown, my adopted mother, always say when I speak, God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. That was a sacrifice for her. Her life changed. At 46, she took in 7 kids that she didn't give birth to. And Mama was attractive. Mama had the ability to sing. She had all types of talents. But when she said to Mr. Moss, our godfather, yes, I'll take him, because our birth mother, thank God, Dorothy Bell Rucker, didn't want Wesley and I separated, and nobody wanted to adopt twins. But Mamie Brown said, I'll take both of them. And her life changed. I remember Mr. Moss said when he was driving Mama back from Liberty City to Overtown in Miami, and she was looking at the 2 of us, and tears of gratitude go rolling down her cheeks as she was so thankful that she now for the first time had children in her life, that she could share life with kids. She never had any children herself, and she always wanted a child, and she told everybody. And then when our birth mother, Dorothy Bell Rucker and Oliver Randolph, they wouldn't receive them at Jackson Memorial Hospital. I'm 79, so at that time, Jackson Memorial Hospital was not receiving colored people or Negroes. And so they went in an abandoned building, and she gave birth to us on a floor, but she went into labor. And so my mother, Mamie Brown, her life changed. When you have a goal and dream, something you've set your sight on that you want to achieve, trust me, you got to ask yourself, what are you willing to give up? When I wanted to speak, when I decided I was going to buy Mama a home, and I decided that this is the area that I wanted to plant my feet, and something that gave my heart and my spirit and my soul a joy that passeth all human understanding. I love communication, and so I became a disc jockey, and I used to be involved in sales. I was a salesman at Sears in the men's department. But communication, I love working with people and interacting with people. I had a training seminar here in Atlanta, and this past weekend I said, there's one thing to do a Zoom, but when you're in the room with me, when I get up in your face, let me tell you something, up in here. It was riveting and powerful. Once you think about something that you love so much, you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. I just talked to someone this morning, and I said, I decline to have you as a client. And so she said, why? I said, I want to work with people that this is who they are. You want to dabble in this place. I want to work with people who have the mindset that they got to work, that they have got to do. There's something that's in them, that they've got to do it. And there's a work that them not doing it is not an option. I have got to speak. This is what I do. And so this is who I want to work with, those kinds of people. And so I want you to think about that work that you have got to do, that feeds your soul and spirit. 80% of people are going to jobs that they hate. When Friday comes, they say, thank God it's Friday. I want you to think about something that you can do 7 days a week. It's you, and you never go to work a day in your life because it resonates with your heart and your spirit and your soul. Now here's something else. Listen to me clearly. And this is not going to be easy. You got to come out from among the people that you're around right now. When you have goals and dreams and you're around people that don't have goals and dreams, it rubs off on you. It rubs off. It affects you. One goose can fly 75% further in formation with other geese than it can ever fly by itself. I'm creating something called the Live Your Greatest Life community. A place where people, everyday people, with the mindset of goals and dreams and something they want to do with their lives. I saw these guys, you've seen those groups, you've seen on the internet where people get on, groups of guys get on one side and sometimes women participate and they crack on each other and talk about each other's mother or just all type of stuff like that. I said, wow. I said, what if we did something like that where people are talking about their goals and their dreams? And we're encouraging each other. We're bringing out the best in each other. And so I don't criticize people who do that, but I said, I'm watching them. I want them to watch me. That evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. And so my goal is to be accessible and build a community with like-minded people who have goals and dreams, people who love the power presentation, people who would love to learn how to tell their story, people who want to make a difference, people who like the positive energy that brings out the best in them. Those are types of communities that I want to be in and that I'm going to create and do it nationally as well as locally and around the globe. And so when I look at my life and people ask, how did you get there? How did you go from your twin brother and you eating sugar cane and raised in poverty in the segregated South, very oppressive culture that's designed to destroy your sense of self and dismiss you and demean you and demonize you? How did you go from that to speaking to people around the world? One of the first things is I had to become aware of who I was and what I wanted and the must-haves. There are a lot of people that are happy and satisfied with where their life is. But I didn't like where I was and I wanted more. And I was willing to make the sacrifice, to do the work, to invest in myself, to do whatever was necessary in order for me to become the kind of person that I could achieve my goals. Because at the end of the day, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. And there's truly no competition. Bob Proctor, God bless his soul, he said that most people are where they are now because they're ignorant. I said, whoa, that's harsh, but it's real. That they're not willing to learn, they're not to upgrade their ability to learn new things. At this stage of my life, I'm learning something new every day. Today, I'm focusing on how to post. Why, Les? You're 79. I know. And if you don't use it, you lose it. This is my anti-dementia program, my anti-Alzheimer's program, my anti-assisted living program, my anti-nursing home program, my anti-caregiver program. I care for myself. I can do for myself. And so I'm challenging myself. I still have not done my best work. I've got friends who are younger than me and they're already through. But that's not me. That's none of my business. I met this man who changed my life, Leroy Washington. You know, it's interesting. I was thinking about this morning. He has 2 sons and 2 daughters. They never saw the man that I saw. He was a speech and drama teacher at Booker T. Washington High School in Miami. They never saw him. Isn't that interesting? They never saw. He he impacted my life. He was more of a father to me, and I got more from him than the children that he brought into this world because they never saw him. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone and it started going south because they never saw you? They thought that you were someone else. They underestimated who you were, and so they never saw it. I remember one time being in a restaurant on 7th Avenue and 62nd Street in Miami, and one of his sons had a waitress to come to the table and said, your son is outside, he'd like to talk to you. And he went outside to talk to his son. When he came back in, and I asked him, I said, hi, what was going on? Is it an emergency? He said, no, he wanted to borrow $15. And this man who was the father that I never had, this man who did not know I adopted him as my spiritual father, I was sitting there having lunch with him, talking about the impact that he made on my life, watching him just signed a contract for $5 million. His son outside calling him to come outside to borrow $15 from him. He never knew who his father was. To this day. And there are people around you who don't know you, who don't see you. They have this antiquated old history about you, and that person that they know, that person's gone, they're died. There are people who see me and say, whoa, Les, I can't believe it's you. Yeah, I understand, because the person that you once knew, he doesn't live here anymore. And there are people that you've been in relationship with or used to kick it with or party with, and they see you or you see them and they're totally different.
But when you know within yourself that there's something you want to do, and I believe that all of us were born with a purpose, that all of us have something that we are supposed to do, that all of us have some goodness within us, and that goodness gives us a responsibility to manifest our greatness. And when you know that, you can feel it in your guts, and you know that you're deliberately operating below your potential, you've gotten comfortable, you stop expanding, you stop stretching, you stop challenging yourself. Let me share something else with you. Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, but it's necessary. It's necessary that you have it, that you work on it, that you develop yourself, that you go for what is yours in the universe. I have a friend that at the beginning of the year, I was in Los Angeles giving a speech, and I do a seminar teaching people how to become involved in the speaking business, and also one called Speaking with Power, teaching people how to begin to develop their communication skills. And this friend, I said, I want you to work with me. I called her up. She said, Les, are you sure I can do it? Sure you can. You have a PhD in communications. I don't have that. If I can do it, sure you can do it. In fact, I'm going to give you the support that you need. Here's what I realize, ladies and gentlemen. We only have enough energy to take us to a certain level, but it's necessary that we assemble ourselves with other people who share our vision, other people that can see it for us, to give ourselves a home court advantage. So it's necessary that you seek out other people who think like you, who are growing, who have decided that they are not satisfied with where they are. See, I don't believe that necessity is the mother of invention. No, necessity, in my opinion, is not the mother of invention. Refusing to accept things the way that they are is the mother of invention. When you decide, I'm not going to settle for this, this is not going to be it for my life, I deserve more than this. See, that will start making you do some stuff. See, a lot of people go to work every day miserable, and all they do is just talk about how miserable they are. But they don't do anything about it. So I was telling her that I knew she hated her job with a passion. I said, you can do this. You got more going for you than I have going for me. And we've been going through this for years, ladies and gentlemen. She'd been to my seminar speaking for a living. She brought her husband, and that was one of the major problems that I realized that happened in her life. He couldn't see it for her. So you got to make sure that you have people in your life that can see it for you, that will encourage you. Non-affirming relationships can hurt you. And I talked to him. I said, you know, I don't have anything to do with your marriage. I said, you and I are good friends, and she and I are good friends. And I'm not taking sides. I said, but if you can't see it for her, don't tell her that. Just give her some support. What if you're wrong? It's possible, man, that if I'm doing it, she can do it. Well, you're different. How are you going to tell me that? You've seen her speak. She's got great speaking skills. Don't underestimate her. You don't know. You got a great woman here. But you see, people who can't see it for themselves can't see it for you. He was happy. So I said, will you do it with me? I said, I'm going to give you the support you need. You can't do it by yourself. I will stand with you. She said, you will? I said, yes. I'm going to make you a part of my seminar. You'll do a part of it and I'll do a part of it. Speaking with power. She said, okay. 3 days later, ladies and gentlemen, I got an emergency call at my office. It was from her husband. He called and said, tell Les Brown that Marion is dead. I said, oh no. When I was flying there to go to the funeral, and I remember the last time that I saw her, and I had some of her papers that I had gotten inadvertently confused with mine, and I took them home. And I was searching through these papers to do one of her works. She was a prolific writer. And what got me, what was so sad that made me begin to cry, was that there were poems that she had started that were profound poems, great thoughts that she didn't complete. Plays that she had started that she didn't complete. See, that poem was given to her. I can't finish that for her, nor can you. That play, whatever the outcome that she had envisioned, that she had imagined, was given to her. Only her. And that she's the channel that was going to come through. You are here, and you are the vessel, you are the outlet for the universe. That you've been selected. There's something for you to do. I believe all of us have some purpose for being here. And as I was going to the funeral, and I was reading a newspaper that said that millions of people are dying because of what they're eating, talking about their diet. And I'm sure that it was Marion talking to me, whispering, saying, Les, the next time you speak, say that even more are dying because of what's eating them. When the challenges of life come your way, you've got to find ways to increase your sense of self-appreciation, because if you don't, you're bombarded with negative stuff every day that beats you down, and you will find yourself unconsciously engaged in self-destructive behavior. If you don't program yourself, life will program you. So you want to have an agenda for your life. It's necessary that you have some direction for your life. A friend at the National Speakers Convention gave us a presentation, and it really struck me. He was talking about when he was traveling across Europe, Warren Gresham, and he said at different points, soldiers would wake them up on their journey and ask him the question. And I posed this to you. The question was, where have you been? Why are you here? And where are you going? And that's what I ask you. Where have you been? Where have you been up to this point? You look at your life. You look at what you produce. Is it giving you what you want? Are you living on purpose? Are you living your dream? Are you acting on your ideas? Are you doing all you can do? Have you gotten comfortable? Are you procrastinating? Are you evading your own greatness? Are you surrounding yourself with people that can nourish you? Are you challenging yourself? Are you experimenting? Are you learning something different? Is your life an adventure, or is it boring? Where have you been? Why are you here? What brought you here? Investing the time, the money. What brought you here? And where are you going? What is it that you can get out of this session, out of this lecture? That when you leave here, rather than this just being a spectator event, that you got some idea, some dream, that you might have to go back and brush it off and look at it again and say, I've got to do this. This is my stuff. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is why I showed up. Where are you going with your life? What decisions are you making right now as you look into the future? Are you experimenting to find out what other talents and abilities that you have? See, we're in a time right now. The day is gone where you could just go to college and get out and get a job and work 30 or 40 years with job security and retire with a gold watch. The gold watch days are gone. Brand new day, party's over. So now you have got to be multi-talented and multi-skilled. You've got to use all your stuff. You don't know what else you can do. I didn't know I can do what I'm doing right now. It's necessary that you stretch and challenge yourself and say, let me see. I started out as a trainer. I'm a trainer. That's what I am. That's what my expertise was in. And then I decided, let me see, can I speak? And then I discovered, hey, I can do that. What if I hadn't tried to do that and just been satisfied with just being a trainer, with a limited vision of myself? And then after training, and then I said, well, maybe I can go into business for myself. And I started speaking, going into business for myself. Well, maybe I could train other speakers and teach them how to go into business for themselves. See, you want to have a backup plan. You want to have other strategies for yourself. In case this doesn't work out, you got something else going over here. You don't want to ever put yourself in a situation where you have a limited vision and you're only using a limited amount of your talents, of your skills, and of your abilities. And I'm saying to you, it's possible you've got some talents, some ideas in you, your ability to do some stuff that you haven't even discovered yet. And I'm suggesting that it's necessary that you get outside of your comfort zone. It's necessary that you develop some new relationships where you can learn from people. It's necessary that you do reading, that you do research. It's necessary, if you're already involved in some business, that you don't be satisfied with where you are. If you want to make it today, it's necessary for you to constantly look at ways of getting better. Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, and it's necessary for you to challenge yourself to go after it and get better and leverage relationships that can help you get to where you want to go, but it's you. The major key to your reaching your dream, your living up to your greatness, your making your contribution is you. If the economy is good, fantastic. If the banks are loaning money, that's great. If people are positive, that's great. You don't have any opposition, that's great. But the major key to your making things happen in your life is you. When I wanted to get on public television, you know, they told me, you can't do that. So wait a minute, I've seen these other people on. It's possible I can get on. Leo Biscaya, John Bradshaw. It's possible. Excuse me, hold on, time out. Let's be realistic. Come on, be logical. I said, well, wait a minute. Why can't I do it? Well, let's look here. Think about guys who have credentials, all kind of credentials. You don't have any college training. They're not going to put you on television. Give me a break. I said, thank you for that. God love you, and I'm trying. And went on about my business. You hear me? Let me tell you something. What people think about you and the possibilities for your dream is none of your business. That's their business. They have no imagination, ladies and gentlemen. They're living out of the past, out of their memory. Their attitude is it can't be done because they haven't seen it. They're judging according to appearances. The people that are going to make it in the future, the people that are making it today, let me share something with you. History is being read, but it's also being written by people with imagination. So I went to the next mode, necessary to start talking to people and seeking and asking for what I wanted and leveraging relationships and trying to find out how do the people do it that went ahead of me? How do they do it? And then what is it I need to do? How is it I need to train myself, to develop myself? What's the resources that will be required in order to make it happen? And as I start seeking out and asking questions, I started running into people who said, I know someone who can help you do that. And they helped me get connected with those people. Remember, we have so much energy that can take us so far. It's necessary that you hook up with some other energy that can take you to the next level. I hooked up with them. They said, let's go. I said, away we go. And guess what? Here we are. I love it. You want your stuff? It's necessary you take responsibility for it, that you make it happen, that you don't give up, that you don't take any objection or disappointment or defeats personally, that you keep on keeping on, that you don't decide that I can't make it because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that you realize that's a part of the program. And here's something you've got to resolve. Say this to yourself every day. See, as long as you're breathing, you got a shot at your dream. That's the way I resolve. Say this, please. It's not over until I win. You got that right. It's not over till I win. Not over till I get through. It's not over till I get over. Not over till I get what I want. Door can't open today, look out. I'm going to come back and take the hinges off. That's how you got to do that. You've got to have that kind of courage, that type of determination. If you want to make it happen, it's you. That you've got to take personal responsibility to make it happen. That you have got to own what it is that you want to do. If it's taking care of your well-being, if it's making a difference in our school system, if it's working with senior citizens, if it's to protect our ecology, if it's to create an economic renaissance, if it's just to take yourself to another level, it's you. You've got to make that happen. We can point out many things that can make it inconvenient or can slow us down, but ultimately, it's on us.
I want to talk to you about how to begin to create the major shift in your life and who you have to be and what you have to do. And so in doing that, when I start moving, hey, oh, how you doing, Dallas? Yeah, the light was in my eyes, I couldn't see you, yeah. So as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams, what's going to be major right now is bringing about what are the steps you need to take, what is it that you need to do to bring about building a new life. I thought about building a new life for myself when I was fired from radio, because that's what I knew. I mastered that when I did it. I'm not saying it because I'm being braggadocious, but people who heard me in Columbus, Ohio, during the time that I was on the air, they'll tell you, Mamie Brown's baby boy, he's a bad brother up in there. Nobody did it like I did it before me or since me. Nobody, period. All right? It's not true because I said it, but I said it because it's true. And so what we have to begin to embrace and to know is something that Socrates said. He said, the secret to change is to focus all your energy, all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but building the new you. Put all your energy, not fighting the old, but building the new you. So let's look at building the new you look like. What is it that you have to do in order to do that? Number one, self-awareness. Taking time to rethink your life. I've been up since around 3:30 this morning, just thinking about my life and my relationship with myself and the choices that I want and the things that I had envisioned that I would have accomplished in 2020, and I did not do that. And it was because of me. See, at the end of the day, all of us are the same. The only thing that separates us are the choices we make, the habits that we embrace. And I realized, and I want you to write this down, sacrifice. You've got to sacrifice who you've been in 2020. You got to sacrifice whoever that person was. You got to let it go. You got to sacrifice that and put all of your time and energy on building the new you. And building the new you, in my particular case, is more discipline. In my particular case, in monitoring myself and my progress, staying on top of it, watching, am I doing well? Am I moving and in the direction where I want to move? Because if I do that, cancer would be history in my life. History. I'm not comfortable with having cancer on the ropes for 29 years, 4th stage cancer. No. My goal is to knock it out. And that's on me. Cancer's not playing, I'm not playing. And so to focus my mind on that, to give up the things that will distract me from doing that, to make the sacrifice of some things that I enjoy doing, but I can't afford to do it because it's soaking up time, and time is life. Time is life. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And you have the ability to create and design the kind of life that you want. And in this place where we are right now, things have changed dramatically. And so you have to make a dramatic change in yourself in order to accomplish the things that you want. What does that look like? What is it you have to do? In my case, mine and my battle has been with cancer, 4th stage. That looks like intensifying my efforts and monitoring everything that I eat. It has to be organic. My state of mind, keeping stress to a minimum. I don't play that. Anything that's unhealthy, anybody that's unhealthy for me, I cut off the relationship. I don't ask them, why did you do that? I cut it off. Why? It's my life. See, we got enough to deal with. When you got the coronavirus that has now mutated into another lethal form and easier to spread, that kind of tension and stress by itself is enough. So you're not given the luxury of accommodating toxic, negative people in your life if you want to live. I want to live. I remember years ago, I read this book called Who's the Matter with Me? You've had people say, you make me sick. That's real. There are people who can do that to you if you allow them to do that. And you have to put your foot down and say, I don't do drama. Don't come up here with that. I don't do drama. And you don't have to defend that. See, there is no duplicate for life. You only get one. And so you want to live it to the fullest. You want to have special moments. You want to have peace of mind. 47% of Americans can't get a good night's sleep. And I've been one of them. Bobby, you have to work at it. Here's something else. Make a conscious effort to look at and recruit people in your life that you know that have been good to you, that you need to deepen that relationship, that they bring out the best in you, they inspire you, they make you feel good about yourself, y'all have fun together. You want to reach out to those people and schedule some time to see each other virtually each week, where you have individual and collective goals that you're working on. I'm doing that with my family and with my clients. I'm working with them. And that's why I would like to say to those of you that would like for me to coach you and like to be in a community of greatness, I want you to put hungry in the comments section. If you like to work with me, if you like for me to be your coach and this first 90 days, teach you some of the things I've learned. I'm 75, and so I've learned some things. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Let me share something with you. When you upgrade your relationships, when you make it a point to consciously get toxic, negative, energy draining people who have a propensity for creating drama out of your life, Sometimes you don't even realize how toxic some relationships are until you get out from under them. And I'm sure you've had the experience when somebody created a whole lot of problems for you and something happened. And when it ended, you say, whoa, I had no idea. A friend of mine, her husband died. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. She said, oh, no, don't be. What? No, I'm glad he gone, honey. I'm glad he gone. Don't be sad for me. Don't be sad for my loss. Oh, that was real good. God, well, look at God. He answered prayers. I was shocked. And so, and another friend, I saw the plane, and she had gone through a divorce. I said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. She said, don't be. No. I have peace of mind, honey. It's better to be alone than to wish you were. I've heard you say that, and that's real. That relationship was turning my hair gray. I gained an extra 65 pounds. No, I'm good. I'm fine all by myself. I mean, this thing called life, you know, Corona. She has everybody rethinking stuff up in here. Rethinking. People looking at each other and saying, I don't know if I want to do this for another 20 years. You looking too healthy. Yeah. You know, I thought I could hang in there, but no. You're taking too many vitamins and things. It look like you want to live. No. Here's the other thing. Do something that's you. When I look at my life, and I really want you to look at this and think about this when I'm through. Do something that the future you will say, thank you for making that decision. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for taking your life in a new direction. That's what you want your future self to say. Because in my case, I decided I was going to do something I love. My calling is to speak. My calling is to train speakers. My calling is to change lives. I decided consciously I was going to find a way to do it. One, I invested in myself. This will not be a new year unless you learn something this year that will have a dramatic impact on your life that you did not know last year, that will allow you to take care of yourself, that allow you to control your own personal economy, that allow you to call your own shots, that allow you to have peace of mind. Most people, they're through with the celebration. They forgot what their New Year's resolutions were. No. You listen to me for 90 days, mental resolve is major now. People having meltdowns, snapping, blanking out. Mental resolve is major now. It's a series that I've done on how you can choose the future that you want rather than the future that's already set in place and that's delivered to you and you just stepped into. You don't want to do that. No, you're only given one life. You want to create. We're created by the Creator to create. And sometimes we just go to sleep at the wheel of life. You don't want to do that. You want to wake up. And every move you make, you want to make it meaningful. Every move you make, you want to mean something. Everything you do, you want some payoff out of it. You went through too much in 2020 not to make 2021 the best year on the planet. You went through too much to get here. Let me tell you. I mean, that Corona, she ain't playing, but we're not playing either. In order to create the life you want, it requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires expanding the time that you spend with yourself, looking at yourself and asking yourself the question, Is this the life that I want to live? Is this me? Is this relationship me? Where I'm living, is this environment me? The job that I'm doing to provide for myself or my family, is that me? Do I have some other options? Absolutely. Then do that which is you. Don't be a member of the woulda, shoulda, coulda club. No, or I would if. I should if. Come on. No, that doesn't work. No. Only put off for tomorrow the things that you're okay with dying in you today. You have something special. And you are here. We are here because of God's grace and mercy. We are here to do the greater work. And feel good about that. Feel good if you're still reeling from 2020. I know I'm still reeling from it. I'm saying, whew, it couldn't end fast enough for me. I'm telling you. And so this time, as you look behind, and thank God that you made it. Look around and praise God. See the new opportunities, doors open that you did not see. And look within. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Go within and seek God and look ahead. Follow God. Let him order your steps, because this is your time. You've gone through too much hell for 2021 not to be your time. Get it done in 21. You got to come at it with a vengeance. Take no prisoners and eat the wounded. Get it done in 21. Oh no, Corona, don't try and come up here. I don't care how many cousins you got and how many mutations you got up in here. I'm not no fool. I'm gonna keep social distancing. I'm gonna do the things that I need to do to live, to be here and stay away from those crazies, but I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna do some things that I dreamed about and things I've been putting off and make it happen. Find a way. People are being creative now, unlike anything we've seen before. Because when you are locked down, you can't move around, you come up with all kinds of stuff. I'm just reading where a guy was he was in confinement, in prison, in solitary confinement. And he used that time productively to study math and came up with some masterful mathematical equations, solving problems that people who were not in prison, in solitary confinement, haven't done. The genius. He took that time to think rather than be in despair. He took that time to be productive rather than just sit in solitary confinement and beat his head up against the wall. Yeah, they imprisoned him, but they didn't imprison his mind. You got a mind. Be ye not conformed to this world. Oh yes, don't allow your mind to be the victim of weapons of mass distractions. You got work to do. You're on a mission possible. This is your time. Get excited about it. Sit down. You know what I do in the morning? I said, all things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. Next thing I say, Lord, whatever I face today, together, you and I can handle it. Next thing I do, I review the 7 things that I want to get out of the day. 7 things that I want to get out of the day. Most people just want to get through the day. See, if you don't have an agenda for your life, you're going to be a part of somebody else's agenda. Okay? And the next thing that's very, very important, make a commitment to learn something today that you didn't know yesterday. Make a commitment before you go to bed tonight that there's something new that you have learned. If you develop those habits, let me share something with you. The opportunities of creating Joy, love, happiness, and excitement are unlimited.